What's going on, everybody? We are live again, 12 o'clock Thursdays. Every week, we are officially on our 17th week of doing this consistently, and we're going to keep doing it. So this is for you guys. Real estate questions or real estate Q&A session. Every week, Thursday, 12 o'clock. You guys already know what it is. We're going to wait for some folks to file in. Again, this is basically a platform and a space for you guys to come in, ask questions regarding anything, everything real estate related. If you guys are just now jumping into the game, or if you have already been in the game, this is a place to come and talk about some of the things that you're experiencing, or if you have questions, or if you're on the journey and the only thing you have is Google, and there's some things that haven't really been able to be explained to you in a great way, or you haven't been able to talk to somebody one-on-one about something that you particularly want to know about. This is the space to come. This is the space to come bring those questions, and I allow folks to come on here and ask me anything, everything they want. I am not a guru, but I know a little bit more than the average Joe. So I try to basically allow folks the space and opportunity to get their questions off without feeling any type of way, or while interacting with somebody else who knows what they're doing. So again, this is a free space. What I would like for you guys to do, if you guys join, we do have some consistent people that show up every single week. But if you do have a question, or if you do want to hop into live, make sure you click that little button right there with the question mark, and we will be able to ask, we'll be able to post any of you guys' questions up on the feed for everybody to see. So we just started probably about 2 minutes ago. It's got a couple people filing in already. You want more? What's going on, brother? Sax therapist, how you doing? Miss Houston Caribbean, Ashley, what's going on? How you guys living? Again, basically, we just started. Want to let some more folks file in here. Today, I did not have a special guest. Doesn't mean I won't have any more special guests showing up in the next coming weeks. I'm working on reaching out to a couple people that are in my industry that I want to bring to you guys. Going to add a lot of value, and not just investors, but people that actually work in the real estate industry, loan officers, agents, brokers, title company people. I'm reaching out to all of them so they can offer their side of things, because when you guys start getting into the game and start investing, there's a bunch of different parts that come together to make a lot of these things move, and people have different jobs within those processes. Just like I said, you got your real estate agent, you got your broker, you got your appraiser, you got contractors, you got your title company, you got banks, you got loan program officers, NACA, you got Section 8, whenever you planning on renting houses, you got program homes, people that run program homes, and things like that. So a lot of different people come into this space, and they all have different jobs. So basically, this is I'm going to be reaching out to some of those folks too as well, just to make sure that whatever value you guys are looking for, you have it, and you don't just get my side of things. As I am an investor and agent, I don't also want to make sure you guys only get my perspective. There's other people that work in this industry that are able to offer perspectives that you guys might not know about, nor I don't know about. So there's been a couple times I've had folks on here, and I've learned my damn self. So that's the key thing. We got, yo, you want more? Oh, this is Jarius. What's going on, man? Yo, what's good, my brother? I'm renovating my grandparents' old home as we speak. Love your content, bro. Keep doing the good work and paying it forward. Love. Much appreciated, man. Definitely. You guys are the reason why I do this. I don't do this for myself. I do this for you guys, because I remember when I first started getting into houses and things like that, my first deal, I did it all wrong. And it was all wrong because I didn't know anybody to ask questions about the process with, and two, I just didn't know what I was doing. You can read online everything you want to, look at as many videos, but there's some things you're just not going to know unless you actually go do it. And turns out when I actually went to go do it, everything kind of went wrong. It was great. It was a great thing that all that happened, because I learned a lot. But basically, this is why I'm doing this, so you guys don't feel alone, or you want somebody that's a mutual party or a third party to come in and answer any questions that you might have, that you might have already talked to a professional about. You might not trust that professional. Shit happens, right? And so you might want a third opinion. I might be able to offer that to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it, man. I appreciate the love, Jarius. Like I said, it's all for you guys, man. If you guys can, we do want to keep promoting this thing. We are 17 weeks and counting. Can talk about consistency with it. I remember when I first started doing this. But anyway, the reason why we're even doing this today right now is because of you guys. So if you can, screenshot whatever you're watching right now. I might not smile, I might not be smiling or whatever, but screenshot it and then post to your story and let folks know that we're on live, and you can just go ahead and tag me. That's how you guys can get back to me. That's the only thing I ask for, is that you just screenshot and share what we got going on, dropping gems, whatever. Just tag my name in there in your story and let folks know what's going on. Because ultimately, when other folks come into here and they ask questions, they might ask questions that you might not know of, and you learn off of their questions. So the more people we get in here and start asking questions, the more you guys are going to learn. Same thing with guests. If you guys have people that you guys look up to in real estate, or you guys know somebody you think they're doing some dope stuff, and you want them to come on and talk with me and share with us, then by all means do that, right? I have no problem chatting it up with you guys, as well as any other guests. And if you do want to hop on the live, you very much well can. So we got a new person, Jabri _ Jabri. What's going on, brother? But anyway, while we file in, like I said, it's 12 o'clock normally. While you guys are waiting, basically, like I said, feel free to ask any questions below. Anything real estate related, I am open for, as usual. But until we get some questions in, I just want to touch on a couple things. I know a lot of you guys sometimes are very much interested in buying rentals and accumulating some rentals. And that's very much well fine, right? Some people don't have any rentals, some people do. But for the people that are looking to buy their first rental property, there's a lot of moving parts that come with that, and it's not just the buy. The buy, you'll find out, is probably going to be the easiest thing because it's short term. It's something that happens only once. You buy the house and that's it, right? You go through the process of getting a loan, you go find the house, you go under contract, and then you settle on the house, and that's it. You don't have to buy that house again, right? That house is bought. You don't have to go through that process again. But there's other moving parts after that that come into play that, I don't think we really talk about that much. What's going on, Kenneth? Will, how you living, brother? So I just want to basically, talk about that a little bit. And feel free, again, if you guys have any questions regarding real estate, ask the questions below. I'm only talking because there ain't no questions. So until you guys start dropping some questions in like normal, you guys know how you normally do. And I know it's 12 o'clock. Some people take a little time to file in. Usually about 12:30, we usually get that's when we get most of the people that show up, because people are late or people working this job. I don't care that I chose 12 o'clock. That's my time. I'm taking it. I'm not trying to compete with the radio show. I mean, not the radio, but you guys' favorite TV shows at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock at night. Nah, we're going to do this at 12 o'clock while all y'all are still in work mode and still in grind mode. So I'm not changing my time. Bet that. Tatiana, the realtor. What's going on, squad? What's going on? Tatiana works in the same brokerage I do, and she is a rock star. She's been killing it up in down there in DC. She just got her license like not too long ago. I guess within the past year, and she is like really rocking it. Every time I look up when it comes to updates for the brokerage, I see she has sold another house or got another space lease. So Tatiana, actually, I plan on bringing Tatiana on the show. If you are welcome, you're welcome to come on the show like next week or something like that. Feel free. You can do that. Actually, you can join in now. I don't care. Right? Doesn't matter to me. We got Faith in the building. Miss Faith. I ain't gonna spell your name. Faith. She got some old Hawaiian name on there. We both used to live in Hawaii. Shout out to Faith. Kenneth Will, doing good, brother. Appreciate that. Jerry, is there any way to view your old content from previous weeks? Yes. If you guys have not checked out my feed, my Instagram feed, all of the old episodes are posted on there. So as soon as we hop off the live, because not everybody can make it, and it's usually an hour long. Some people go in, some people go out. What I usually do is right after the live, I post it on my feed, and I give a description of what topics we went over during that episode. So if you guys are looking for a specific topic or anything like that, just check the description under it, and it'll show you guys what's going on or what we're talking about or what we're discussing, whether it's me by myself or with a special guest. So Tatiana says, I'd love to join. Jerry's, don't worry, I'm going to get to, no, that's Kenneth. Don't worry, Kenneth, I'm going to get to your comment here. We got Nani My Nature. How you doing? This is not the first time I've seen you. You showed up a couple times. Amber and, hey, it is my bosses. Hey, guys, finally. So I've been trying to get my brokers to show up, my bosses, to show up to this live session for like the past couple weeks. And they finally showed up. Amber and Company, that is who I am affiliated with. That's where I hang my agent hat with, Amber and Company. They're a great brokerage, black owned. You know what I'm saying? Black owned out here in the DMV area doing the damn thing. So I appreciate you guys showing up. They supported me since day one, so I'm always going to support them. Shout them out. Shout out to Amber and Company. I see y'all here. Not in My Nature says, yes, sir. Hey, guys, before we get into these questions and some of the topics I want to hit on today, screenshot whatever you see right now and post it on your story and tag me and say, hey, dropping gems, whatever, spread the word. The more people we get in here every week to ask questions, the more you guys learn. Obviously, I can give enough information, but obviously you guys are going to learn more from other people and what questions they have as well. So just make sure you guys shout us out. Like I said, I do this for free for you guys. This is for y'all, man. The only thing I ask you guys is shout this, put it on your story and shout me out. You know what I'm saying? And try to get some more people up in here. I'm trying to hit 100 within the next year. So that's why I'm continuously growing this thing and doing more talking and all that kind of stuff every week. Consistency is key. I remember when we first started, it was only one or two people pop up on here, and now I usually average around like 10 or 12. And sometimes if I got a good guest in, I might average 20. So growth. Bria126, how you doing? Appreciate you joining. Remember, ask questions below. Look at the little question mark thing right there. Ask any questions you got. I'm gonna get into these questions, and I will get to your questions if you guys have anything. So don't be shy. We already got a question here already. And Tatiana, like I said again, send me the invite if you want to hop on right now. That's fine. Kenneth says, what strategy works best for you when it comes to finding properties to buy and hold? So there's a couple things, right? And a couple things that you could do to make some mistakes, right? And I've made some mistakes. I have not bought. All my houses that I've ever bought have not been great houses. I have probably about 2 dumps. No, I got about 1 dumper, and then I got another one that I probably just bought too high. So one thing that you can do when it comes to deciding, what I do, I'm looking at area, right? And you classify neighborhoods by areas. A-class area, which is probably like your best, nice, safest area where there's no crime or anything like that, very little crime, nice, clean. You guys know those kind of neighborhoods. Those are A-class neighborhoods. So you got B-class neighborhoods, which is, still suburban-esque type neighborhoods. And, you might see a lot of shops and things like that around there. Not much activity, but, it's okay, you know what I'm saying, and it's still a nice neighborhood, desirable neighborhood. Sorry about that, my contractor's calling me. Then you have your C-class neighborhoods. C-class neighborhoods are like your working class neighborhoods where you're gonna find, you're gonna find your middle class people. They're working, they're doing their damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You might have a little, crime here, there. It just depends, right? C-class neighborhoods are C-class neighborhoods. D, F, you guys get the picture, right? So I typically try to go for anywhere between B and C. I have invested in D-class neighborhoods, and it just depends, right? So that's one thing I look for. The other thing I look for is can I buy this house and have an exit strategy? And when I mean exit strategy, I mean, am I allowed to buy this house for a good price and be able to refinance it or sell it or flip it? Because if you buy too high, you don't have any of those options. Case in point, right? If you buy too high, if you ever try to sell the house, nobody's gonna buy it, or you're gonna have trouble buying it because you bought at the top of the market, or you just spent way too much on the house. And so your point of buying a house and selling a house is to buy it at a decent price and then sell it for more money, right? If you bought too high, you're not going to be able to sell it for more money because you already bought at a point that people, is too high already. So that's one thing, right? So I got to be able to buy it and have an exit strategy. If I buy it at the right price, I should be able to, in a couple years or whenever, I should be able to sell it at any point in time and make money off of it. Can I make money off of it? And that could come in the form of flipping it too as well, right? If I buy too high and I renovate it and put money into it, I spent more money. And if I try to sell it and I can't sell it because I bought it too high, there's a problem right there. So can I flip it? Can I rent it? Will the rent rate support the purchase price? Right. So if I buy it at $1,000, and if I buy the property and the mortgage is $1,000 and the rent rates in the area are only $1,100, I can't do anything with that. Right. So basically, it's all about the buy. Right. It's all about the buy. That's one thing I look for. That's the most important thing that I can tell you is you got to buy right. Right. You have to buy to where you can have an exit strategy. Your exit strategy is going to come in the form of selling, refinancing, flipping it, those kind of things. Right. You don't want to. If you buy a property for too much money, you're not going to have any of those options, and your only option, if you don't want to lose money, is to sit on it and try to cut down some of that mortgage, right, and hope for some appreciation in the neighborhood. So that's the key, right? That is the key. Another couple things I look for when it comes to buying rentals. I got a couple pet peeves. One-way streets. I stay away from one-way streets. I stay away from corner lots that are on a busy street. I stay away from houses that are on main roads. One way to find out if your house is on a main road is the double line yellow lines in the middle of the street. So if it's got double lines in the middle of the street, that's a major road. Not a major road, but a main road. I stay off of those. I stay away from rentals that are next to abandoned homes, right? If I can, because more than likely, if it's city owned, that property might just be sitting there. If it's a landlord that owns it, it's probably an absentee landlord, and they're probably not doing anything with the house. I don't want that house bringing down the values of my home. Another thing, those are the main things, right? Those are the main things. Can I buy it right? Can I have an exit strategy? And stay away from double line roads, stay away from one-way roads, and I stay away from houses that are next to bandos. So, great question. We got some more people came in. Sneaker Fiend, what's going on? Appreciate you showing up again. I think Sneaker Fiend showed up every single week. We've been doing this since the beginning, so I appreciate the love and support. Sweet and Sassy 17, what's going on? How you living? I don't know if it's your first time here, but if it is and you got some real estate questions, feel free to drop that question right there in the thing right there. Also, we got another question. Jerry is, how do you go about calculating expenses and estimate profitable returns before investing in a property? So coming up with renovation costs is something that a lot of people feel like they have no knowledge about, and that they need a contractor to tell them what the cost is and all of that kind of stuff. And that's not the case, right? Well, it can be the case, but you can also have, you can build up some knowledge, some basic knowledge, and kind of know a ballpark of what stuff costs, right? And you don't have to be a contractor. You don't have to be going into these places and doing these elaborate rehabs to kind of know a ballpark of what stuff should cost. Right? For one, Google is your best friend, people, and you can always type in Google average cost to do X, average cost to do Y, right? And you just take that, right? And sometimes it'll be very location specific. But anyway, when I calculate, what I do is I go into a house and I look for specific things that need to be fixed, right, or renovated. And I give a ballpark, and I make it very quick, right? I don't like spend all day researching how much does it cost to do a basement, right? How much does it cost to renovate a basement? $7,000, right? How much does it cost to put a bathroom in? $3,000 to $5,000. How much to replace all the windows on a house? $5,000. How much to put an AC in? $6,000 to $8,000. Stuff like that, right? I do it that quickly, right? And I come up with my total, right? I come up with my total of what all my expenses are going to be, and then I look at the potential rent rates. I look at the rent rates in the area. There's a website called rentometer.com. You type in the address, the zip code, and all that great stuff, and it'll show you the average rents in that area based on bedrooms. I take that information. So I say, okay, if the potential rent is $1,000, right? And let's say, the purchase price is $90,000, and I'm going to put $10,000. Sorry about that. That means I'm all in at $100,000. So $100,000. I'm going to take that $1,000 rent, estimated rent. I'm going to multiply that by 12. 12 months of rent equals X, right? So it's going to be $12,000. I take that $12,000 and I multiply that by 60%. And I say 60% because when you bring home your mortgage, when you bring home your rent each month, you're going to have to pay things, right? You're going to have to pay the mortgage. You're going to have to pay the insurance. You're going to have to put stuff away for, holding costs. Holding costs. You're going to have to save some of that money. You know what I'm saying? There's expenses that come out of that rent payment that you get every month. That's rent money that you should not be counting as personal income and spending it. Don't do that. I already went down that road. Don't do that. Right? Because you're going to have a rainy day one day with your rental and you're not going to have any money saved up. So don't do that. Anyway, I take that and I take that $12,000 and I multiply that by 60%. That's going to take away 60% out of that $12,000, and it's going to leave me with my net income. I take that net income number and I divide that by the total purchase price and rehab costs. And that's going to give me my ROI percentage, right? You take that formula and you apply it to how you evaluate whether a rental is going to bring you a bad return, a decent return, a great... Sorry guys, my contractor keeps calling me. It's probably an emergency. But anyway, we're live, so I can't answer. Anyway, so yes, you take that number, multiply it, you take your possible rent rate, you times that by 12. You take that number and you times that by 60%, and then you divide by your total purchase price and rehab cost, and that's going to spit out your ROI and to let you know how much return on your money you're going to be getting. And it's a very rough, it's a very rough number, but at the same time, it's going to give you a quick calculation on what that potential property is going to be worth for you long term. And that's the evaluation I do, Jerry. Great question. I appreciate you asking me that. Contract keep calling me. But anyway, so yeah, and typically returns. Okay, the next question or a good follow-up question to that would be, well, how do I know what's a good return on my money once I do that calculation? What percent is a good return? What percentage is a good return for a rental? It varies and it differs, right? So sometimes you'll have investors from out of the country that are from foreign places, right? And they come over here and they invest their money here. They invest their money here because they get a larger return on their money. So when they do that, they might go home and be happy with taking, whereas in their country they might bring home 1% to 2%, right, off investing in their country for ROI. They might come over here and be okay with taking 6%, 7%. Over here, your averages are going to be about 12%. That's what you kind of see for people where they say, okay, I want to at least be able to make 12% ROI on my money. That is a model that I follow, right? but it differs depending on where I'm at, right? I've learned that 12% is not just a hard line, right? Anything above 12% is going to yield you some great returns, right? 15%, 20%. Some people only go for deals that they're going to make 20% off of, 15%, 25%, right? Hold on, guys. Sorry, I had to respond to that text because he was blowing my jack out, my contractor. But anyway, I typically take home 12%. I will go less if I'm in an area that's greatly appreciating. So I'll be willing to go down to like 10%. That means I'm going to take home less money each month for my rent, but the area is appreciating fastly, so I don't care, right? I'll take the 10%. I'll take the 10%. But if I'm in an area that's a little dicey, I'm not budging off that 12% because me as taking on the risk as an investor, I need to ensure that I'm going to be able to get enough return to make the deal worth it, because I'm going to have to deal with more BS sometimes in different places. So yeah, 30 minutes. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry. My contractor keeps texting me, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got new people joined up in here. Feed My Ego, Ariana the boss. That is my boss, by the way. Ariana, David Broker. Okay, what's going on? JQ is me. What's going on? Senator Quan. I ain't gonna spell your name. That's Quan. What's going on, Quan? We got Chizo. Oh, we got Kalichi. What's going on, brother? And we got my young brother, Gold Boy, man. What's going on from Duval? How you living? Again, if this is your first time here, we're answering anything, everything real estate related. Every Thursday, 12 o'clock. No, every Thursday, 12 o'clock. I'm tripping. I say this thing all the time. Every Thursday, 12 o'clock. This is our 17th week consecutively of doing this. If you guys can do me a favor, this is all I ask of you. Just screenshot what you see right now on the screen and post it on your story. Tag my IG page and let folks know what we're doing every Thursday, 12 o'clock. We're here answering anything, everything real estate related. Feel free to drop any questions right there in the little question mark thing right there if you guys have any questions. So it looks like we do have a question here. Hold on. It's Kenneth. What type of marketing do you utilize to find properties? So there's two ways to find properties. There's two ways to buy properties. You can buy properties on the market, which would require you to go through a real estate agent. And that agent and that brokerage will be able to find you or help assist you in buying a home for properties that are on the market. Then you can also find houses that are off the market, right? And off the market homes are usually homes that are sold by the owner. And in order to do that, you have to know who's selling their home, right? They have to call you or you have to call them. You're not just going to walk out in the middle of the street and say, I want to buy off-market properties, and a bunch of people are going to be calling you. You have to market to them. So there's a couple ways to market to them. Actually, there's a lot of different ways. No way does not work. It just depends on the market, and it depends on your consistency. Consistency is key when it comes to marketing and spending money marketing. You have to be consistent with whatever you do, whatever you decide to do as your marketing plan to reach these off-market sellers. Couple things that are very cheap. There's a couple things that are very expensive. One of the most common ways you'll see people go find off-market deals is bandit signs. Bandit signs, but driving for dollars. You can go out and drive your car and find abandoned homes, homes that look like they're abandoned, tall grass, mail coming out the mailbox, dilapidated, whatever, right? That's one way to find deals. You write those addresses, look them up, look up the owner, and contact them to get in contact with them, see if they're willing to sell. I've done that. I've actually hired somebody to do that at some point, at a certain point in time, and I had them while they were out throughout a week, they had to come back and bring 50 properties, which is very easy. You can very easily go out and find 50 abandoned homes in an hour or 2 hours of driving, guys. It's not that hard. So I've done driving for dollars, and the cool, unique thing about driving for dollars is whenever you're in a specific neighborhood, whatever list you come up with that's full of abandoned homes and things like that, that's going to be a very unique list to you, right? There's ways to go pay for, you can go pay for leads, right? and you might end up with the same list 100 other people have. So guess what? You're going to be competing with 100 other people trying to contact the same seller 100 times, right? Driving for Dollars is a very unique list that you have, right? Just because when you found that house on that corner over there, doesn't mean anybody else has found it. Doesn't even mean anybody else knows about it. So that's the unique thing about Driving for Dollars, and they have different apps you can use to, take a picture of the house, it populates the tax records and all that kind of stuff. That's a great way to find properties. I've done it. I've also done bandit signs. Bandit signs are the signs you see on the side of the road that say, "We buy houses. I buy houses for cash. Cash settlement quick." Those signs actually work, and they're investors looking to find homes that are sold by owners. So that's a great way to do it. I've also done that. I've also paid somebody to do that, where, hey, go put out 50 signs every Friday night. I've done it, and it works. It definitely works. People do call those numbers. Another way you can do it, which is probably one of the more older traditional ways, is mail. You can mail a list. You can mail the owners. So you get a list. You can take your Drive for Dollars list, look up the owners, and you can mail them. You can mail them and say, "Hey, I'm in your area, I'm a local investor, and I'm willing to buy your house cash. Blah, 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 blah." There's a basic standard template that everybody uses. Not saying it's not going to work, but it's going to be less effective because everybody says the same thing in these letters. You're not differentiating yourself from anybody else when you start using these basic templates. Not saying you can't do that when you first start, but when you get into the game and you start doing more, you want to start trying to differentiate yourself from all the other investors that are mailing that same person. Trust me, just because you send one letter of mail to that person doesn't mean they don't have 10, 15 other people mailing them too. So you have to find ways to differentiate yourself, but that's another topic. Another way to do these things to reach off-market sellers is ringless voicemail, RVMs. Basically, there's systems online where you can basically it calls the lead and it rings once and then it goes to voicemail. And what they see on their phone is, "Oh, dang, somebody called me from this number. Let me see what the voicemail says." And they check the voicemail, and it's a voicemail of you saying, "Hey, I was in the area, I want to buy your house, blah, 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 blah." And they'll call back, right? And they'll either say yes or no. That's one way. You can also do text. I've never done text before, but I should. I want to get into it. I'm actually planning on getting into it. I'm working on a new marketing system now that includes text. But that's another way that you can reach them. And word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Word of mouth is another way. There's a bunch of different ways to find off-market sellers. Those are some of the things that I've been able to use, and I feel like depending on how consistent you are will dictate whether or not you're successful with that. So, great question. Great question. We got some more people that popped up in here. Zazzy Z3, what's going on? Oh, Ashley popped in on her other account. Hey, what's going on? Anyway, guys, feel free to answer or ask me anything, everything related to real estate in the comment section below. If you guys have anybody you want me to bring on, or a specialist or anything like that, I will. I'm also working on some more guests as well, so just keep in mind, just stay tuned every week, Thursday, 12 o'clock. Shout us out. Take a picture right now. Show us in your story and tag us so people know what's going on. More people in here asking questions, the better. Looks like Jairus is very active today, and I appreciate that. By the way, for anybody that's in here and you guys are consistently showing up and this is your first time, put a thumbs up in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about what's going on and what I'm doing for you guys. And, let me know if this is helpful, man. Put a thumbs up. And if you don't like the show, if you don't like showing up, then put a thumbs down. Any feedback is great feedback. So that's kind of like what keeps me motivated. I love hearing the DMs where it's like, "Hey, yeah, I appreciate you doing this, that, and the third." Trust me, keeps me going on and keeps me inspired. So let's get to Jared's question. He says, "What cost fees are associated with obtaining and maintaining your real estate license?" Ooh, boy, a couple things, man. Well, I'll tell you just like what I did. So you can go get your real estate license today. No, not today, but you have to go through. You can go and start learning to get your license today, and that can include going through a series of courses. It's like a prereq course. And forgive me, I got my boss in here, so I'm trying to make sure I say the right stuff. But anyway, you can go and take a course, right? And depending on your timing and your scheduling, that pre-licensing course, there it is can be, it depends on the state you're in. So, for example, Maryland, we have to take 60 hours of a pre-licensing course and pass that course in order to go and take our test, our national test, and our state-specific law test. So we have 60 hours, whereas like I think California is like 120 hours, right? So it just depends. You can take that course within a 6-month time, 3-month time, month time, 2-week time. Depends on your area. They offer different courses and links at which they offer the classes. You can also do online classes. I think before I actually did an in-person classroom setting, I tried to do online. There's a place called the CE Shop, the CE Shop. You can check them out. I think I paid like $340 to do all of my pre-licensing online. I didn't do it. It was a waste of money because I'm not the person to like learn online. I just can't do it. So I ended up wasting that money. So you can do that. That's if that's your learning style. You can do that. If not, you can do in-person courses, and those prices differ. When I took my course, my pre-licensing course, I did a 2 weeks. So I crunched 60 hours in 2 weeks. They had a 2-week course. It's basically a crash course. It's not something that's if you don't know anything about real estate, it's not something that's easy. I think I got some books here. You can kind of see like the damn thickness. But there's like, they give you like a bunch of books, and you gotta study it all. Like there's no BSing. You gotta study it. So they give you a thick book of information, a couple thick books. You gotta learn that 60 hours. I did a crash course 2 weeks. It's stressful, but if you get through it, you're good. I think I paid like 200, like I said, 200 and something bucks for that. And then you have to go take your national test, which costs, I believe, 60, 70 bucks. My boss should know, Ariana, you guys should know how much that costs. And then once you pass your test, your 2 tests, then there's you affiliate with a brokerage, and there's usually a fee for that. And then depending on your brokerage and your boss, there's a monthly fee or a yearly fee that you have to pay to hang your hat there. So there's a couple different costs that come with getting your license, but if you're out there doing deals and things like that, that cost can be very minimal depending on how much volume of deals you're closing or how many clients you're helping out within the industry. So it just depends, but the startup costs, you got realtor fees too. When you associate with an association, you have to pay Bright or your MLS access. You got to pay for that. There's some costs. I ain't gonna lie, there's some costs. So not saying it's overly expensive, but there is some startup costs to get you going and get in the game. So just keep that in mind if you did want to get your license, which I do recommend, because even if you plan on being an agent, you can make a very successful career just being an agent, helping people buy, sell homes, XYZ, commercial real estate. If you are an investor and you're thinking about getting in your license, it's very beneficial because you have different tools at your disposal that, of course, regulated and used the right way, could help you in your business and could help you help others, right? So the other side of the game, right? And just like myself, I was an investor first before I got my agent license, and I'm able to offer a different perspective than somebody that is just a regular agent and hasn't done the rehab side of things, that hasn't done the rental side of things, that hasn't done the flip side of things, that hasn't done the wholesale side of things. So that's how you can also help folks, and you can offer more services in that capacity. So, and if you're an investor, you already know there's certain things that agents have access to that you guys just won't ever have access to unless you have that good connection. So it could be beneficial on both sides. If you're ever thinking about getting your license, I know Ashton is, Don Souls, he's working on some things down there in Atlanta, and I know we talked about getting his license. So go ahead and get it. Don't BS. Don't BS. And it's perfectly okay to not get your license. It is okay to also do a pre-licensing course and still don't get your license, because if you want to get a good introduction to real estate, taking the agent course is a great way to learn the whole process of buying a house, maintain all that stuff from start to finish, right? So Very, very, very good information to learn if you just want to take a $200, $300 course and maybe do 3 months. It is a great way to learn the other side of things. There's the investor side, then there's the agent side. So great way to learn some of that stuff. So we got some new people here. Mike Allen, that's my buddy. That's my man out here in Baltimore. Shout out to Mike for joining in. We were just smoking some cigars last week. That's my boy. Mike is also in the game. He's an investor out here. He is actually, I think Mike's my age. Yeah, he's my age. And we actually, crazy thing, me and Mike both kind of started out the same way in the game. Like we were working for other folks, other investors, and we actually were acquisition managers, which is how we got our experience to be able to go out and evaluate deals, run numbers, and figure out what's a good buy, bad buy. And you know, we ended up both jumping off the porch and doing our own things. Mike's he's on. I think he just started doing his own thing like 2-3 months ago, and he's already completed 3 flips already. So Mike is also a good resource to have. If you guys are in Baltimore, I'm probably gonna bring him on here one day, man. Just let me know, man. You can come on here anytime, bro, and we can chop it up and rap and talk about the game, especially from the flipping side, because Mike is all about flipping. I'm a rental guy. I've been trying to convert him over to get some rentals here, because you know, he's a short-term guy. We got Keneal in here. What's going on, Keneal? Another consistent person. Let's see. Definitely man. Don Sol says definitely man is coming. Mike Allen says, what up? Making other people rich. Yeah, you already know it. Making other people rich, except ourselves. But we gonna get rich. Outside of that, if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything like that, feel free to drop it in the little question mark thing down there below. Every Thursday is 12 o'clock, answering everything real estate related. Sometimes I have guests on here, sometimes I don't. 17 weeks straight. I'm trying to make sure that we blast this thing up and get more and more people in here. So snapshot, post it on your story, and tag my profile and show love. That's the only thing I ask for you guys, because this isn't for me. This is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a guru. I just know a little bit more than the average Joe. That's it. We got Polo that just joined in. Don Sol is talking about STR. I'm not going to explain that acronym. Maybe when you bring your ass on here and want to publicize your new business down there in Atlanta, you can tell the people what STR means, Ashton. Yes, I'm holding you accountable. I am holding you accountable. So get your stuff together so you can get on the show and talk to people what you're doing. Yeah, you already know, Polo. Tell that boy, get it together, man. Get it together. But yeah, while I'm waiting for more questions, I was going to get back to the rental process of what comes after the buy, right? So after you buy a rental, basically you got to fix it up, right? Depending on whether you buy turnkey or whether you buy something as is, you're going to have to put something into it, right? And usually you want to make sure you're adding value. You don't want to add too much value, but you want to add enough value where your tenants know that they're walking into a house that is essentially ain't gonna fall apart, or they're dealing with a slumlord, right? So you put whatever money you got into the rehab, and then once you're done, you have to usually get a license per the city. So whatever city you're in, I'm pretty confidently sure that they have a regulation where you can't rent a house unless it is registered with the city. So for example, City of Baltimore, you have to go through a series of inspections in order to get your rental license. So when you're doing your rehab, know what the city requires in their inspection when they come and do the inspection to get your house registered. This will save you some money and time, because if the rental inspector comes in and sees XYZ not done or not there or broken, or you just don't have it, then you have to, 1, go fix the issue, and then 2, you have to schedule them to come back out, and that's going to cost you money, because you pay every time an inspector comes out. So do it right the first time. Check your local city inspection guidelines of what's required in rentals to be considered legal. What's the first? Oh, got more questions. I'm going to stop that because we got more questions, and usually, like I said, I'll talk to fill in the time because I have different points I like to bring up to you guys. But if you guys have any questions, I'm going to stop and I'm going to answer them questions. So Don Souls asked, what's the first step to find a hard money lender? The first step is to go on Google. First step is to go on Google, of course, and find hard money lenders. There's a difference between local hard money lenders and national hard money lenders. I advise, me personally, to find a local hard money lender. You want a local hard money lender that is familiar with your market. Think about what I said. A national lender might have some great rates, but they don't know your market. So they're lending to you on a short-term deal, and if at a very high interest rate. And if you get stuck in a bad deal and you can't pull all that money out, you're screwed. And if your hard money lender doesn't know the market and they lend to you just to lend to you, you're screwed. So you want somebody that knows the market. You want a lender that's local, that knows the different areas. Like my lender, right? We have a great relationship. I'll shoot him a deal and he'll run his own numbers, and he has his own experience working in all these different areas and lends to different investors. And so he knows these different areas and what's good, what's a bad deal. He'll evaluate it himself and say, good deal, here's the money, or he'll say, bad deal. I don't think we're gonna be able to pull our money out. So that's why you wanna look for local lenders. A good way to find local lenders is ask local investors, who are they using for their hard money, and that is a good way to also find out who's lending. Also, go to Facebook. In any market that you're in, there's more than likely a Facebook group full of investors. So if you're in Atlanta, I'm pretty sure there's an Atlanta investor network on Facebook. Join those groups and go into the search bar and type in hard money, and I guarantee you're going to find a bunch of different posts about people talking about different hard money lenders, people asking. Also jump in there and just ask, hey, who's lending? Who's the hard money lender you guys use? What's a good hard money company? Great way to find lenders. You want to work with lenders that other people work with, right? You don't want to get stuck in a bad deal because you got this unknown lender who's whoever all the way out in Arizona and doesn't know nothing about your market. You don't want that. You want somebody that knows the market and is going to hold you accountable and make sure you don't get into bad deals. Not saying bad deals don't happen, but more security around the more security around your decisions, the better. Also, we got another question from Camille. Great question, Ashley. I know people want to get into hard money. Great resource. Camille, if I want a property from a tax sale, would I be able to take a loan out of that property to complete renovations? Not until you close. That's actually an interesting question. If I want a property from tax deed sale, would I be able to take money out of that property to complete renovations? The only way I can see that happening is if you close and then you refinance, you pull equity out of the house, and that will depend on what kind of house, the house you actually buy. But normally, you want to have an idea of where your construction money is coming from before you buy a house, or anticipate that you will be able to pull that money out of the house before you actually buy it. And you can do that. You can do that just by running the numbers on it and being your own quote unquote appraiser, or you can order an independent appraiser to go over there and get the value out of it. But once you buy it, you're stuck with it, right? And if you can't pull money out of that house, then that's gonna suck. Also, check. The reason why I say that is also because you got to know where your source of money is coming from. So if you do plan on pulling money out of that house, what bank are you going to be using? Know the banks and know their requirements, because some banks require seasoning and some don't, right? Some banks might say, hey, you need to own the home for a year before you can refinance, or you need to own the home for 6 months before you can refinance. Things to consider when looking at this stuff. You go out and buy a house, right? But have all these things set up, and some things are contingent upon after the sale. Then have those specific people you're going to need lined up before you actually buy it. Don't buy it and then try to figure it out, because the house might not be worth what you think it was, or you might, whatever. Just be prepared. But yeah, you can do that. I for example, I bought a house that wasn't tax sale, my first house, and I needed renovation money, and I took a home loan out against the house. and I use that for renovation costs. So you can do that. Tax sale is probably the same thing. You just have to make sure that the house has the value to be able to pull out as much money that you need to do the renovation. So key thing to know. Definitely a good question, Keneal. We got some more people that's popped up in here. In the know, one, what's going on, brother? FAMU alumni, how you living? Kid next door, Devin 11 just joined. What's going on? All my line brothers up in here, man. What's going on? Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all also share the show. Screenshot this, send it to your story, and tag me. Yeah, y'all do that. Don Souls Facebook groups are the gym. There definitely is a group like 400K. Yes. That's the group you want to join, because most of the time they're all investors or people just trying to get into investing, and they're all asking millions and millions of questions. Who's got contractors? Who does paint? Who's a good title company? Who has a good hard money lender? All these questions pop up in those groups, and they're great resources. I don't ever go to Craigslist anymore to find contractors, by the way. One of my first places to go is Facebook groups, and I go and type in like plumber, and I'll find a bunch of different posts with plumbers. And there's also contractors in these groups, and they are there because they're looking for business. They're looking for people who are asking for their specific discipline. And so you see, hey, who needs? I'm looking for a plumber in zip code 21212, and you'll see contractors commenting under there. Hey, I do this. Hey, I do that. Here, DM me. Message those guys. Go look on the post. Great resource to find a lot of information. That's the beauty of social media nowadays. Craigslist. Ain't nothing wrong with Craigslist, but I typically stay away from Craigslist when it comes to contractors because it can get dicey. It can get very dicey. Devin's got a question. How many times can I use the 203K loan? You can use it multiple times. You can have an FHA loan. You can use an FHA loan multiple times. There is some criteria that's involved, so you just can't go out here buying FHA houses and then using 203K money on multiple houses at one time in 1 year. FHA has a requirement that you live in a house for 1 year as an owner occupant. Doesn't matter whether it's a multi-unit or a single family. Doesn't matter. You gotta have to live in that house for 1 year. If you do plan on using another FHA loan, the house has to be and I'll summarize it, bigger and better than the previous house you bought. It's not a tool used to be an investor in scale. You can't scale that loan. You can scale it over time, but it's not something that's scalable like at this moment right now, where it's like, hey, my goal is to buy 3 houses this year, and I want to use FHA loan. You can't. Because whatever house you buy right now with that FHA loan, they're going to say you have to live in that house for a year. And so if you go try to buy another house in 2 months and use an FHA loan, they're going to like, no, you have this house over here that you're supposed to be living in. You can't go buy that house over there because we're going to require the same thing, that you live in there. So you can use it multiple times, but it's got to be over a span of time. And also there's some criteria involved. Like I said, the house has to be, for better terms, to summarize it, bigger and better. So yeah, you can use FHA. Also, FHA 203K is a great way to buy your first home and house hack. 3% or 3.5% down. And so, you pay that on top of closing costs, $100,000 house, you might end up paying like $6,000 to $8,000 when it comes to using that FHA loan. So keep in mind, great loan to use. Definitely is great for house hacking. So if you want to buy like a multi-unit, a four unit, or just a big house, and you don't want to have to, you want to put the least amount of money down, guess what? It's going to be, FHA is a great way to utilize that and to house hack. What people do is they'll take that FHA loan and they'll take that 203K and they'll fix up the house. They'll live in one of the units, and they'll rent out the others, or they'll live in a part of the space, or they'll live in the whole space and use that 203K loan to house hack and to fix up different things like that around the house without having to come out of pocket a lot of money. Remember, I said a $100,000 house, you got an FHA loan. Guess what? You might end up spending $6 to $8, maybe $10,000 to actually close on that house. That's not a lot of money, especially when some of these loans require you, like a conventional loan, to put down 20%. So keep that in mind. Great question, Devin. Appreciate you. Mo Devontae, my line brother, is also in this joint. What's going on, brother? We are coming up on the end of our session. I think I got another about 5 minutes or so. And I probably will not be doing a second part 2 to this because my contract has been blowing me up. And so I got to get back to him because I actually have we got back to working on a 3-unit. I know I've been showing you guys that house earlier in the year. We got back to working on that. I had to take a break to work on this house right here where I currently live. I did renovate it literally from the studs all the way to here, and that took about 4 months, and so that was a huge, crazy experience, but we're finally done. And so now I'm going to go back and work on some of my own rentals and things like that. And that house is a 3-unit. It's one of my, I think it's my second multi-unit, and so I need to hurry up and get that done because we have income. I bought it at a stupid deal, and I'm looking to make great returns on that house once it gets done and gets once all the units are occupied. So that is what has been consuming my time, and once I'm done there, I have another house down the street 2 blocks away that I have to renovate that you guys saw that was we purchased like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, other than that, if you guys got any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm actually going to hop off here shortly, but I appreciate you guys. There's a couple things I need you guys to do with a couple questions before we log off, because I think I got like 3 or 4 minutes left. Anyway, share the show every Thursday, 12 o'clock. I'd appreciate that. That's the only thing I ask of you guys. With me dropping whatever knowledge I have, answering any questions, I only ask you guys to share this thing and post on your stories. Also, I will be posting content on YouTube. So these things, these episodes will now be available on YouTube as well as on my feed. So you can go to YouTube to find this stuff out and check on the different episodes. The episodes will be numbered differently depending on what week and all that kind of stuff. And we might have guests and all that. Whatever, it's going to be on YouTube. You guys will be able to access that there. And, at any point in time you want. I'm trying to get this thing going and get it out there. So you already know what the deal is. Also, question for you guys. I know we got like 2 minutes left, but you can put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. What about OnlyFans, right? And I'm saying that because I created an OnlyFans account. Now, if I'm going to do this OnlyFans account, I'm going to put different content on there than I talk about on here. So it will be worth it. I only know OnlyFans because of other reasons that you hear about, but I did find out yesterday that there is an actual platform for people to like put their things out there that they want, that are of value. And so I was like, interesting. And it doesn't have to be the porn and all that stuff. It could be like your music or like art or whatever. So I did create an OnlyFans account. You guys can let me know how you guys feel about that, and I'm going to be posting different content on there, but I did want to let you guys know here today about that because if that is going to come into fruition, I would obviously like you guys to support and make sure that I provide some more value to you at a great rate. So again, I do this thing every week, every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Share the show. Come next week with some questions. We're going to have some more people popping up. Appreciate you, Keneal. Love that, man. And I got some more things coming, so y'all just stay patient. Y'all stay focused. And whatever you're doing, if you are planning on buying a house, don't wait. Go ahead and do it. A lot of crazy things going on, but I want y'all to stay safe out here, but also make decisions that are going to better your future and better your livelihood. And again, it's not all about the money. Side note, it's not all about the money. It's not about the hustle. It's about, it's about your love for who your higher being. For me, this God, your family, and your loved ones. So make sure you take time to say you love them and you appreciate them. That's all I got for today. So y'all check us out. Episode posted below in my feed. Y'all let people know, share the show. I'm out. See y'all next week. 12 o'clock Thursdays, people. Peace.